This is going to be slightly a different video. I want this video to be a shorter video than other videos, and we are going to talk about 2 deep secrets to touch your potential. Productivity strategies for introvert entrepreneurs. Thank you so much for joining. This is Fazil, an introvert to an introvert, learning from my own experiences and sharing those experiences, which is going to be beneficial for you. It may be beneficial, it may be a priority, it may be relevant based, but then it is going to help you touch your potential, because in some ways it is helping me, enabling me, not helping me, but enabling me to keep on knocking the doors of my own potential. Thanks so much for joining in. The first foremost is having a there are 2 things when it comes to doing anything, doing or dealing with anything. When you want to hit a certain goal, that's because of 2 things, right? I don't know who started saying, from where this thought process coming, but then this is coming from someone. I heard this Russell Brunson saying at one of the conversation that I was having, God, that's like a dream. Definitely someday. He was having conversation with Impact Theory Tom Pillu, and I heard that it's when you want to achieve a goal, it's either because that goal is going to give you pleasure, or you are running from a pain. Either you want to increase the salary because you're suffering over here with the salary that if you got, you want to increase it. So either it's pain or pleasure, it's sometimes both of it. So that's what we are going to discuss over here. The first and foremost thing that for me is going to be the pleasure part of it. First point is inspiring deadline. So whenever we want to do something, we are keeping to-do lists, checklists, deadlines, this and that and that. That typically for me, it doesn't work. It's like I'm going to launch my course on 15th or 20th. Like I'm going to do that. I've been saying that for 3.5 years. But then the deadline has always been moving forward. Now, if I was to work for someone else, even for you, I would do things when the deadline is there. But then when it comes to me as an entrepreneur, what typically happens, specifically when you're starting off the journey, it's difficult. And you make the deadline and it just fades away. You make the deadline again, it fades away. And the more it fades away, because it's going to fade away towards the end of the day, the pressure is also going to rise because you're feeling at it so many times. So what I have started to do come recently is not just keep a deadline. Deadlines are boring for me. I'm going to keep an inspiring deadline. Okay, I need to travel for this XYZ amount of XYZ event. I am going to travel to that place. I'm going to shift the house. I'm going to do this. I'm going to travel that place. So I'm going to buy this equipment. So what that typically does for me, is it says, okay, if I just do, like, for example, if I just record this one video today, it's going to impact you and other members of the community. That's one story. But then this one video is taking me one step forward to that goal. Then I record another video, another video is going to step forward to another goal. Take me another. Like everything that I do is taking closer to that one thing that's pleasure. Like it can be any pleasure that you want to. Think about the good things that you want. You want to invest in a phone? Think about it. You want to invest in a new place? Great. You want to buy a book? Great. Think about it. And even if you're just like me, so like for example, if you're like broke and you're thinking of every small thing that you want to buy, okay, great. That's the situation of pain that you are in. Like, that's what we're going to talk about second. That's the situation of pain that you're in. Okay, that also comes slightly under the pleasure part where, okay, you're here, but then you want to go to that place. That's the pleasure pull. Cool, that's point number 1. Point number 2 that definitely always keeps me going, it helps me kind of touch the potential, is fear of missing out. Okay, now I've got like my own definition over here, where when it comes to pain, fear of missing out. Okay, if I don't hit the goal, this episode, I'm recording this video 14th of August 2022. So I've got like a specific deadline that I need to be fulfilling and hit a specific goal. That is an inspiring deadline, 1. And that is also, if I don't do that, there is something that I may lose. Now, when I've got like these 2 deep secrets in a way with me, okay, there's a pleasure that I'm going to get. And if I don't do that, there's a pain that I'm going to go through, because it's going to happen. This thing is very serious over here. And even this thing goes over serious over here. So when you have a combination of these 2 things, think about, okay, if I don't hit the deadline, what is that one exact thing that I'm going to lose, which is literally going to make me feel miserable. Literally. So when we have a blend and mix of these 2 things, and keep on reminding it over and over, so that you're being reminded with yourself, okay, if I do this, I'm going to reach it. If I don't do this, these are the consequences of it. And when think about the negative consequences, keep the negative consequences in it, not to beat yourself, but then the negative consequences, something, fear of missing out. The missing out part has to be very powerful. It's not like it's not like fear of missing out when you want to work on fear of missing out for yourself. It's like okay, I'm not reading a book today. Okay, I'm just going to skip a junk meal today because I did not did a work, I'm going to skip a junk meal. That's not a fear of missing out for me. That's like, okay, you have it, you don't have it, that doesn't matter. But then fear of missing out should be very powerful. It should actually, when you don't make things happen, it should pull you down. It should break you apart. So just so that you don't break yourself apart, you keep on moving forward. Cool. There's a context to it. So thank you so much for making this video, me and the topic a part of your day. There are two inspiring, keep an inspiring deadline, and also think of the worst case scenario. Okay, if I don't do this, I'm going to go through this process. If I am not going to go through this process, okay, what should I be doing today? Just keep on doing. That will help you do a lot of things. And one of the conversations that I was having yesterday with one of my friends, he said, Fazil, if you have a strong why, okay, and the why it has to be in a way where it doesn't allow you to sleep. When it doesn't allow you to sleep, what it does is you're going to work even more harder. So blown away. So thanks so much. I'm going to see you in another video. If you want to learn more about productivity strategies, type in productivity strategies, or we've got a playlist in the channel where you just go and search for productivity strategy playlist, or probably here and there you'll be able to find that. So thanks so much. I'm going to see you in another exciting video. Thanks so much.